And we can see here, here's our second attempt. Pretty much the same, it failed. Here's our user. Now in this case, this is a valid username. So, same source, same telnet, blah, blah, blah. But this bit shows you that it's a bad password. So that means that this user account exists on whatever user database we're using. In this case, it's a local username database. You might have TACAX set up or some other system. But it tells you that the reason that it failed was bad password. So again, this is great for troubleshooting. The NOC may have the username Cisco Jim, but they've got a wrong password, or what's usually going to happen is they're going to say, it's your router. You configured it wrong, or something's fucked up on your router. And if you get this type of login failure, you can say, no, my stuff is right. It's you fat fingering the password, or you're too dumb to type in what I gave you as a password. And then finally, because we specified successful logins to be logged as well, you can see that this is a successful login. Not a lot to add here, same stuff, just successful. And just to make this clear, most of the time you're not going to see this on the console. We just happen to have an open console connection up, so we were seeing all the logging as it came in. You might not have your logs sent to the console, and if you hit this after, if we weren't logged in while this was happening, this wouldn't show. So we had this in the log. So show log will show you all the same information, and that's generally where you're going to find it. Or if you've got this pushed out to a logging server someplace, you'll see it there. Okay, let me clear a little space here, and now let's see what our login command is showing. Same type of stuff. We're still in normal mode, so we're good to go. Because I yapped for so long, the window has obviously turned over, and it's on a new window. If we'd seen this earlier, we would have seen that the login failures would be 2. But it has shown, it is showing that there's 2 login failures. And that's going to be since the router booted up last. I don't know that there's a way to clear this. I haven't seen anything. I don't think there is, other than a reboot, but I could be wrong on that. And now let's check one other. With show login, there's one additional parameter you can specify, and that's failures. And I really like this one because it'll show you, well, let me show you what it shows you. It shows you detailed information about the last 50 failures. So you might be viewing this days later, or you have some other stuff that is filling up your log, which, that happens. Somebody might have a debug on, or you might have some other, logging that's filling up, and it just pushes out your log to where you don't see this. This is pretty cool because this will keep this for the last 50 failures. And again, this is going to keep this information from the time that the router is brought online again via reload or reboot, and it gives you the user, the source, what they were trying to get in with, how many times they failed, and then when they failed. The only information this doesn't give you, that the log would give you, is why they failed. You don't know whether this was because the username is wrong or because they put in the wrong password. Pretty easy to figure out, though. I mean, especially if it's login local. It's like, well, we know this one's set up, this one isn't. Okay, and that shows us the login on success, login on failure, logging. Before we get started here, what we're going to do now is we're going to invoke the quiet period. We're going to have 3 bad logins. Before we do that, I want to show you. Come on, baby. Think. There we go. Oh, I must have been playing around with this earlier. Okay, well, ignore this. Let me get on there real quick. Not even using the damn auxiliary. I would leave it on login local. But I digress. All right, let's try this again. And it's thinking, it's actually parsing. What I'm trying to show you is that on our auxiliary and VTY lines, we do not now have any access lists configured, no access classes applied. Whereas before I had that access inbound on the auxiliary. Why, I don't know. I was dicking around earlier. But I just want you to make a mental note of this, because we will be seeing something interesting with this in just a few minutes here. All right, let's go back to R1. Up arrow, telnet, and bad user 1. So we're just generating fake logins. And unfortunately, with that delay of 5, we're going to have a little bit of time to think about what we're doing. Bad user 2. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick. And can you guess what this one's going to be? Bad user 3. We're going to stay on R1 for just a second here. So login invalid. Kicked us out. Let's try telnetting. Refused by remote host. So right now, we're not able to get into R2 at all. Let's jump over to R2. We will come back and look at this in the log in a second. What I really do want to do, because last time I yapped so much, I want to show you what's going on right here with the show login. So all our normal stuff. Here's where we want to concentrate. Router is presently in quiet mode, and fudge. I wanted to show you something else. Timing. All right, well, here's what was going on. We were in quiet mode, which meant we were in blocking. And I'm actually going to pause the video here, and I'm going to do two things. I'm going to make the quiet mode longer than 30 seconds, and then I'm going to generate some more bad traffic, but there's no reason to have you sit by and watch that, so I'll be back in just a second. Okay, and I'm back, and I actually did a number of things here. I went ahead and cleared the log. I changed the login, or I'm sorry, the quiet mode from 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and then I sent 3 more bad attempts. Plus, after that, I sent 6 just regular attempts to telnet into the device. So yeah, see, we're out of quiet mode already, but I've captured what I need here. First, the show login, and all your normal stuff's on here. So this is what you want to look for. It's router is currently in quiet, currently, same thing, in quiet mode, and that's the mode that the router goes into when it has detected an attack based on the parameters that you've established for the login block4 command. And it's saying right here that it's going to be in this mode for another 44 seconds because we have this set to 60 seconds now. Denying logins from all sources, and that is exactly what it means. It's denying logins from all sources, with the exception of the console line. So did a show run, and this was during the you see quiet mode went off. This is during quiet mode. I did a show run with the section for your lines, and you could see that the auxiliary line and the VTY line both have this access list applied inbound. So this is our good friend SL underbar def underbar ACL. This is the access list that iOS creates once you configure that block4 command, and it has applied this inbound on your auxiliary and your VTY lines. So right now, or rather when the quiet period was enabled, it's blocking anything that is telnet, HTTP, or SSH. And this line, don't know why this is in there. This is just poor ACL writing. I mean, you're never going to permit this traffic if you've already explicitly denied it. I don't know why that's there. Cisco might have a reason.